Hi, good morning. This is Chris again with No Boundaries Marketing Group, and we are ready to present another education series here for our small business community. And on this, we're going to focus on content marketing. So again, the goal of these presentations is to really just make a simplified marketing game plan for small businesses, teaching you little tidbits here and there of things you can literally apply today to your business and hopefully help yourself grow during these, let's just say, difficult times. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So today's topic additional questions or you want to learn more about something, feel free to give our office a call at 602-377-7773. But with that said, we're going to cover things like blogging, video, podcasting, infographics, email. Again, this is going to be a lot of information today. So our goal is going to be take away one or two things that you can literally apply to your business today. Maybe that's going to be some blogging. Maybe you're going to go shoot a video. Maybe you buy a microphone and maybe you're going to start creating some podcasts. Or maybe you do email. Like I said, the idea here is that you take something away from this today and you apply it to your business. You can watch this presentation over and over again to really pick up down the road. Or again, you can give our office a call and we can go over things here. So without delay, let's talk first about blogging. So our goal again, blogging made simple. A lot of people don't realize the early blogs started appearing in the mid-90s, give or take. There's a lot of debate over that. I've heard some references to, early 90s, some mid-90s, some late 90s. Bottom line, it's somewhere in the 90s. These quote-unquote blogs started appearing. Originally, they were really diaries, if you want to equate it to that. They were just personal thoughts, facts, academic type, topics. People documenting their travels, for novels, stuff like that. So again, the exact date unknown, but again, it is the original, I guess, how we say the description of it or the name that we gave it, weblog or web blog. That's the shortened version of, that's how we got to blogging. So again, little fun fact there. Blogs are a type of website. So the only real difference between a blog and an actual website is really the content that's displayed on it. Blogs are typically articles, short, versions or, information displayed in like chronological order. So there's several of them. So more or less a series similar to this presentation. But a website is really where content's organized. There's pages, not necessarily updated consistently. Blogs are where, a good blog site is where you're updating content regularly. Websites are where you're updating content, just obviously you're not posting them daily, weekly, so on and so forth to every single page. So big differences between the two. Blogs don't necessarily use a lot of imagery. Some do, some don't. I guess it really just comes down to preference. But websites are all about dynamic imagery. Websites are about, incorporating content, making relevant content to a particular subject, so on and so forth. Blogs, again, are just talking about, really whatever comes to mind, whatever you want to post on. So a lot of value behind blogs. 55% of marketers say blog content creation is their top inbound marketing priority. That's a HubSpot statistic back from 2018. Obviously, that's only grown since then. Over 3/4 of internet users say that they read blogs regularly. So, I have businesses all the time that tell me, well, nobody reads blogs, nobody goes into this. I'm just doing it for, because you tell me to. Actually, believe it or not, blogs are like the gift that keeps giving. It's something that, believe it or not, I have clients that their blog sites or their blogs rank higher than certain web pages on their website. So, if that goes to show you. Using statistics and blogs improves consumer trust. That's a Forbes statistic from 2018. And then 23% of today's posts on social media include a link to a blog post. So again, you got a lot of people that do travel blogs, businesses. That's a best practice actually, is to share the blog. So we really want to emphasize on blogging. This is something that all businesses should be doing. Not because maybe you have a ton of stuff to share, but there's really two reasons you do a blog. First and foremost, you do want to provide additional content to the website. So I'm going to use like an insurance company as an example. There's only so many ways you can talk about car insurance, right? I mean, there's 3,000 car insurance agencies or companies here in the Valley, give or take, and they can only talk about car insurance so many ways. So the way that you can help differentiate yourself, or the way that you can help differentiate yourself, not just to consumers, but to Google, is to add your perspective, add your thoughts on it, add your little key insights that only you have, because again, it's your business. So the way that you would do that is, yes, you can update the content on your site, those individual pages, but really blogs are a great way to do that. And then, linking those two pages together, having reference points in it, it's really telling Google and consumers that, hey, we're an expert in what we do. A lot of clients will ask me, well, how often should I be blogging? I think the key to blogging is consistency. And that's where most of us fall short. We're no different than you guys. We're just as guilty as any other business. We blogged and, times get busy and, we forget. The key is consistency. So you really want to focus. If you're a one blog a month type of business, then you know what? Do one blog a month. If you can do one a week, do one a week. If you can do one a day, do one a day. The more content, the better. But again, make sure that it's relevant. You don't want to just blog to blog. You want to make sure that you have something relevant to talk about. You have something relevant to, put forth to an audience. And so, if you can, like I said, if you have enough content to do it once a week, then do it once a week. But just be consistent. The other question we get a lot about blogs is, well, what do I write about? Well, this is, really where you get to decide what type of traffic you want to attract to your business. So blogs, again, they're relevant for a topic. You want to try to make them as specific as possible. What you wouldn't want to do is, using that car insurance example, we wouldn't want to do a blog talking about car insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, Medicare, so on and so forth. That would be a very, very, very long blog. There's no focus on it. There's no intent with it. It's just a bunch of information that you're throwing out there to the internet. What we want to do is we want to make them precise. We want to make them, targeted. So if your strategy as a business, and if you sit back and you tell yourself as an insurance company, well, you know what? I really want to build up my car insurance portfolio this year. If you're looking from a content strategy point of view, then that's what you want to focus on. That you want to focus on writing content around that strategy. What you don't want to do is bounce all over the place. Again, not that there wouldn't be value behind writing about other topics, but if you're truly focusing on 1, 2, or 3 things, whatever that number is, that's what you want to write your blogs about, because it keeps you relevant. It keeps you, it keeps new, fresh content posting about those particular topics. So again, Google's going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, wow, A+ on this. So really think that through. Ask yourself, what is it that we want to do? Or what is it that we want to focus on? What product makes the most sense? If you're a plumber and you want to focus on hot water heaters, well, you're not going to talk about drain cleaning. You're going to talk about hot water heaters. So again, I hope that makes sense. But, blogging, again, extremely valuable, highly encourage all businesses to do it on a regular basis. And again, just be consistent. That's the number one key to it. Next up, we're going to talk about video. And I know we've talked about this numerous times. If you've been a part of our other series, we've harped on this before, but video, it's really the future. We go through these flows. We go through these ups and downs with video to where, sometimes we love them, sometimes we hate them. Society we're referring to. Sometimes videos are the hot ticket, sometimes they're not, but again, this goes in a cycle. The bottom line is video is super important. Video is where we're at right now. And so I encourage, just based on, the times, if you will, making videos, seeing your pretty face, that's what consumers are looking for. I like to equate it to this. When we talk about changes in search and how people, want their information delivered, we go from the I want to read it all myself. Leave me alone. Let me do it on my own pace. 2, tell me about your services because I don't want to read anything. That's the easiest way that I explain it to clients. And so right now we're in the tell me about it because I don't want to read it phase. So video is exactly what it sounds like. You know, you're building customer rapport, you're promoting products, brands, services. They don't all have to be me, me, me. I think that's the big misconception about video is that clients think that they have to go out and create videos just on them. They got to talk about their products or their services. You know, we're part of a community. That's where we're at nowadays. Businesses helping businesses, people helping people. You know, that's really what's sticking right now. And so, you know, videos can be adapted to maybe you're going to feature a friend, a nonprofit, a client testimonial, you know, something different that doesn't necessarily talk about you. Now, that doesn't mean you're excluded from the video. Certainly, you can reference, obviously, the business name, so on and so forth. There's obviously very simple things, but, you know, the focus is not necessarily on you. So just adapt video to really anything and everything. So again, we give you some ideas there, products, brands, services, what makes you different, customer testimonials, but, you know, just think it through. How-to videos, that's again how YouTube got started. So again, those are still the most popular video, if you will, online. A lot of clients are getting into product demos. You know, you never thought about it before. You offer a product, you sell a product. You may have talked about it. You may have a nice little blog on it, but you know, really that video is what's missing. And so video or video blogs, if you've ever heard of the term vlog, that's another form of video marketing. It's all gaining ground incredibly fast. You have all these new services coming in. So keep it simple. Just, you know, start simple. You can do it with purchasing a little tripod and a cell phone adapter at a local camera store. Start setting it up. You just start filming yourself. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. And I always tell clients, listen, you're going to fall flat on your face a dozen times, just like I did, just like everybody else does. Eventually, you're going to learn what not to do. And there you go. You know, you're going to start finding little ways to make things bigger, better, little easier ways to edit. Eventually, you're going to do things in one take, and you're going to be a rock star. So again, you got to start somewhere. So why not today? So looking at a couple of things here, I'm going to go over this slide here. This is on, I pulled a little example video out right here. If you can believe this, as of March 9th, 872 million views of this video. So tell me what you think.
Daddy bit me. Ouch! Ow! Charlie! Ow! Charlie! That really hurt!
So if you want to watch the whole thing, feel free. There's the YouTube link or just search it online. But if you can imagine, that got 872 million views plus. I mean, it's obviously more now. But so what are people really looking for out of a video? The answer is everything. I always tell clients, puppies and babies sell everything. I mean, if you can put a puppy or a baby in your video, let me tell you, you have a greater chance of it going viral than ever before. But really, the content that you shoot on, you know, what you put in the video, so on and so forth, really depends on your target demographic and what you're trying to really do with it. So if you're doing product demos, obviously that's pretty generic in terms of who you're trying to reach. It's anybody who goes to your website. But again, if you're targeting products to, let's say, millennials, or if you're targeting, you know, products to our senior community, like I said, those are going to be different. You're going to want to be more detailed to our senior community. You're going to want to be more efficient with our millennials, you know, get to the point type stuff. The real benefit behind video marketing is the ability to make a connection. So again, you can't be everywhere all at once. You know, when you look at video, you can send this out. Anybody and everybody can see you and hear how you want to talk about your product or service. So take advantage of that. It's your way to make that connection. Remember, as a small business, this is what makes us who we are, is us. You know, we are small businesses. our take on, a particular product or service makes us different than somebody like Amazon who's just reselling products. There's no connection with Amazon. There's no physical person. They don't have, somebody you can really call and talk to about their products. But they do. They can call you today or a staff member, but they can call your company and they can, explain or ask, what they're looking for. So again, really take that to heart. Not every video requires some type of Spielberg production operation, to produce. Some of the best videos that I've seen out there, they are awesome. Again, they just go leaps and bounds over this stuff. So again, don't be so concerned. You don't have to hire a company to do this. This is all within your wheelhouse to produce. Next up, we're going to talk about some tips on videos, some different editing apps out there. You may or may not have used these. I use InShot before. We've used iMovie, so on and so forth. So there's not one that we recommend over another one. And in fact, some are paid, some are free. But, when you go through these, just find one that works best for you. Again, each one has its own feature. And so what you need to do is just maybe look through a couple of them. You can even do a quick Google search, best video editing, best video editing software. If you need to purchase something, obviously you can, but, some of these are free. And so just take a look. There's, again, not one that's better than another per se. Some statistics, if you needed to know why you need to do this, here it is. Video is number one form of marketing used in content strategy. It's overtaken blogs and infographics. There's a lot of debate. That's HubSpot's opinion this year. I still tend to think blogs are still very, very relevant. I don't know that video's overtaken them personally yet, but nonetheless, that's HubSpot's statistic. Promotional videos and brand storytelling are the most common video types created by marketers, which makes sense. That's what we do. Clients, on the other hand, we would encourage a different type of video from you, your product demonstration, so on and so forth. Videos boost informational retention. So that's important. When somebody reads versus listens, the combination of the two is an amazing dynamic. But again, if you have customers hear about something, they're likely to retain about 10% of that information 3 days later. By contrast, if they hear it accompanied by relevant imagery, they'll retain an average of 65%. So again, that's why we do what we do. Just video is super important. And lastly, in 2017, video content accounted for 74% of all online traffic. So, wow, that's a huge number. So just think that through. Moving on. So infographics. You may have heard of these. You may not have. At one point in time, you've probably seen one, whether it be very basic or very detailed. Infographics are a huge, huge thing. They are an attention getter. If I can teach somebody anything, infographics it's a combination of a variety of things. I'll show you an example of one here in the next slide, but it's imagery, it's charts, it's statistics. It's something that's captivating to an audience. I can tell you, for me personally, whenever I see an infographic, I don't care what it's on, I take a look at it. It catches my attention, and I'm just curious what statistics are around it. So it really focuses on numbers. It really focuses on data. You want to try to make and organize an infographic a certain way. So again, I'll explain more about it when we look at the actual infographic. But it's a visual communication. Again, meant to increase engagement with a brand, demonstrate knowledge of a subject, display survey data. There's a variety of uses from them, but bottom line is they're amazing. To show you what they look like, and this is one from the American Heart Association. Again, really simple thing. Now, this, again, I know nothing about and not even going to pretend to. But again, look at how captivating it is. Did you know? And boom, you have some dynamic statistics. They come right out at you. You look at the content. It compels you to want to read more. This is a way to capture somebody's attention and keep it. It also, again, makes you look like a trusted authority on the matter. If you're producing a infographic on something, chances are you're probably good at it or you know a thing or two about it. And so that's what creates confidence in clients. There's a variety of tools to create them. So again, your first couple of infographics, if you do try to create one, probably not going to be great. Just understand that, and that's okay. There's a variety of tools you can use. A lot of them have templates, so you can try to adapt them to that. We use Canva, but there's, again, a variety of them out there. So I gave you a few examples. Again, some paid, some free. But again, try to think of it this way. What could you create an infographic on today? If you're an insurance agent, maybe you want to create an infographic on number of accidents and what types of accidents, or maybe what counties. That's all public record. You can easily go look at that. Another great way to get for these, survey your clients. Again, that's another huge engagement tool. A lot of clients, you really undervalue their usage. I mean, I know for us, I survey clients all the time. Hey, what could we be doing better? Hey, what do you think of this? Hey, when's the last time you did this? You just get little tidbits of information, and then you can start compiling enough data to make something like this. The asterisk that I put on that is make sure you have enough, a large enough pool to pull from to use that data. We wouldn't want to survey 5 people and maybe create an infographic on that, because that's not a decent enough sample size. So, try to have a decent enough audience. But again, think inside your business. What statistics could come from your audience or your clients? Think about it, and then maybe start sending some stuff out. Clients love those type of things. It makes them feel like they're a part of the business, and it's a great way to create that sticky connection point. Some statistics for you. 65% of brands use infographics in their content marketing efforts. Xerox. Infographics can help boost traffic to your site by up to 12%. Again, if I could grow a site's traffic by 12% today, that's just incredible. Articles with infographics got 178% more links than standard articles. So again, the numbers are there. The numbers support it. Again, it might take a little bit more time if I were to maybe prioritize things a bit. I think blogging would be first, followed by video, or maybe video then blogging, just depends. Infographics would certainly come later. So, but try it out. If that's something's in your wheelhouse, you're already doing maybe the other two, maybe add this to your portfolio. Next up, we got some email marketing to talk about. And again, we've been through this now in the last 3 slides, but it's worth mentioning again because a lot of people, believe it or not, don't know how to do email marketing. And so we want to try to simplify that. Email marketing is the act of sending a commercial message, typically to a group of people using an email. It's frequently used to enhance business, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read all this to you. But I will say this. Email marketing, if you look at some of the statistics that we have coming up, you'll start doing it. I mean, again, it's that powerful of a tool. And the important thing that I really stress to clients is this. First and foremost, you can't just go create an email marketing, portfolio, You can't just go out and grab emails and start sending stuff out to. Clients have to agree for you to do that. That's a huge rule, huge compliance rule nowadays. It'll actually get you fined if you don't. I think it's the FCC, if I'm not mistaken. There's a bunch of rules, a bunch of groups that police that stuff. But again, there's huge consequences for not getting somebody's permission to send emails. Same thing with SMS. If you do text messages and you're just sending onesie twosie off, if you didn't get that person's permission to do that, that could lead to a huge fine down the road. So don't do that. But with that said, if you're doing things the right way, again, if you have I don't care if it's a piece of paper in your counter and you just have people sign up their email addresses, having that consent to send emails out, people are telling you, I want to receive your information. You don't know how many businesses that I meet with, they have that stuff. They know it's important. They collect their customer data, then they don't do anything with it. Or maybe it's just once or twice a year, when something catastrophic happens. Email marketing should be something that's a part of your marketing mix every single month. Clients are asking you, they're giving you their information to send them information. If you're not doing that, well, what does that say? What does that say about your business? It just shows that you don't care. And so again, make sure that you're keeping clients top of mind. You're keeping your business top of mind to clients, and let them know, hey, you're a valued part of this, community. This is what we need, or this is what we offer, so on and so forth. There's so many uses for email marketing. So key points, they need to be visually appealing. I always encourage, make sure your branding's in there, a logo. What we don't want to do, we don't want to send it from like Gmail or, Outlook. Those emails are more for the individual onesie-twosies to your clients. You really want an email marketing program to, doll it up a bit. Add those, different formats. Add some, different visuals, if you will. Again, there's so much value behind those. They're well worth their cost. In our last presentation, we talked about again, and we'll get to these in a minute, but email marketing returns roughly $43 for every dollar spent. So it's well worth your money, your time, and your effort. So again, if you haven't started this already, please start collecting email addresses. Start asking your clients if they mind if you send them information periodically. They'll decide how often they want to receive it. If they don't like what you're sending, if you're not getting anything in return, they'll unsubscribe. And that's just plain and simple. That's them telling you, yeah, you're not rocking my world. But on the other hand, too, you'll look at the analytics behind it, and you'll see the benefit behind doing it. So again, lots of pluses. 4 main parts of the email: subject line, body, call to action, and the sign-off. We've really changed. You ever see those emails that used to have like 35 different things in them, and it's like a book or a short novel to read? Those days are gone. Please don't do that to your clients. Everybody wants short and sweet. They want short, sweet, and to the point. So what we encourage clients to look at when they're doing email marketing, and again, there are, yes, differences with some businesses. So some businesses will support having maybe longer-winded emails. Most don't. So, chances are you're probably in that group that you don't. But again, you need to have that dynamic visual. You need to have something eye-catching. You need to make sure that the subject line is very, very well written and compelling. Don't send out follow-up or, something just unthoughtful. There's a variety of ways to do it. We can talk a little bit more about that, but dynamic subject lines, if you Google that, best email marketing subject lines, you'd be amazed at what you'll find, and you might get some inspiration from that. So do yourself a favor, do a little research before you send stuff out. The body or the copy. So the content that's contained within that email, what I encourage my clients to do is, you want to have one main subject, and then you want to have a call to action. You want to have something that you're offering. So let's just say, you want to let people know that you're open for business because of the COVID-19. Here's the things that you're doing. Here's, the precautions you're taking. This is how you want to do business now moving forward. Here's how consumers do business with you moving forward. And then the very last paragraph is going to be a call to action. It's going to be some type of, hey, either here's a discount, a coupon, or here's how you can make a reservation or something like that, or a link to the website. You need to ask them to do something because that's your unit of measure. How many people took an action based on your email? And then have your sign off. Personalization is everything. So in your email too, in your body, just make sure that you have some type of personal greetings. A good email marketing program will help walk you through that. They'll help walk you through how to set things up and how to organize your database. But again, you want to make sure, if you can, first name, last name, or, if you can, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith, however they want to be addressed. Typically, the most common is just to see first name, last name, and it'll be something more personal, like, I, Christopher Amos, blah, 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 go into some detail. But again, having that personalization in there is a big deal. And then also on the sign-off, nobody wants to see a generic company. That's not personal. There's nobody behind it. There's no numbers, if you will. So, make sure you have a person. So if it's you, the business owner, that's usually the best. But again, if it's somebody, whoever interacts with your clients the most is usually the one that should probably be on that sign-off, because that's the name that they're going to recognize at the end of the day. And when it looks like it came from them, it's more, you'll just get higher read rates, so on and so forth. So again, those are the 4 main components of an email. And then the statistics that we spoke of. In 2019, 293.6 billion emails were sent. Oh my word, that is a lot. And I was off on my number there. It's $1, you'll get $42, not $43, for every dollar you spend. So still awesome rate of return. Emails with personalized subject lines generate 50% higher open rates. That should tell you everything right there. And then the average open rate for a welcome email is 82%. So again, this just shows you people still read emails. It's the preferred method of communication nowadays. And again, the younger demographics not only email, but they also go to the text messaging. So, just make sure you do it the right way. Collect the information, request permission. Don't just arbitrarily create your own list based on information you find and start sending stuff out, because that is illegal. So, next up, social media. So social media, obviously, it's huge. I mean, this is just a no-brainer in terms of, what you need to be doing as a business, platforms you need to be on. Perception is at the root of all evils for business. Your perception as a business owner on things is typically what creates problems in the long run. I've had clients tell me, you know what, I don't like Facebook, so I'm not going to be on it. Okay, well, your clients are, so why would you not want to be on it? I understand you don't want to do it, and that's fine. But, you can hire a service then to do that for you so that they can, or your staff. I mean, there's so many options out there. But regardless of what your feelings are on certain things, you need to make sure that you're connecting with clients, especially in this day and age, with where they're at. And social media is where they're at, especially in light of this COVID-19 stuff. I mean, their social traffic has gone through the roof. I mean, this is where people are going, sadly, for a lot of information. And so, why not get your brand out there? Why not get your business out there and take some of that market share and drive it towards you? So super, super important. Just make sure social media plays a fundamental role in content marketing. The other thing, too, is a lot of people don't associate social media with content, and that's because they're too busy usually posting about me stuff. Graphics, you name it. A lot of people are into the dynamic visuals, which is a big, big, big part of social media. Absolutely. But there's also a content piece. And so you need to produce that engaging content that compels users to take an action. If you know anything about social media insights, you'll see everything is geared towards engagement. How many likes, how many follows, how many people commented, so on and so forth. That's what drives how the social media platforms distribute your information. The more engagement, the more people will see it. It's that simple. And it's not because people are necessarily sharing your information. It's because the social media platforms, they're looking at this and they're saying, oh, wow, okay, 500 people liked this post. It must be a really good post. We're going to show it up to even more. Because remember, they have a vested interest in this. The more relevant, engaging content that they can show, the more likely you are to stay on their platform, the more addicted you get to it. So it's not that we want to manipulate, but you got to play the game. So this is how you win at social media. You need to have a combination of dynamic visuals along with engaging content. So when we talk about content on social media, simple stuff. Maybe you're already producing a blog. Great. Why not share the blog to social media? I mean, that's relevant. That's good. That's awesome. That's what I would do. But more so than that, you can create short little tidbits of things. Like, again, maybe you have a very unique way to do a certain thing and that only you do that. And that's great. Like, talk about that. Create a short, maybe little paragraph or two on it and then link to maybe some content on your website. That's a great content strategy. And again, we can go into more detail on this, but for the basics, these are some of the things that you can do with social media that will help you build that relationship with your client base. Remember, they like and follow your page for a reason. They're looking for that information. And if you're not giving it to them, well, then you just become, somebody I did business with once before. Why not be the business you do business with now? That's what I want to be. So again, and then also too, make sure, little pro tip, call to actions. You need to tell people what you want them to do. If it's click a link, if it's give us a call, make sure, put call to actions in there. We get a lot of questions too about like, well, when should I post and all that stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I'll give you a little hints. You know your clients best. That's the easiest way to put this. And so understanding your analytics, when people are liking, responding, you really need to get familiar with whatever platform you're using, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you're using, you need to get familiar with the reporting and the insights, because what that tell you is exactly what you want to know. What's your demographic look like? Is it male or female? What is it, 70-30? Is it 60-40, 50-50? That tells you the audience that's engaging with you. Time of day. When are they engaging with you? Is it at 8 o'clock at night? Is it 7 o'clock in the morning? Is it lunchtime? We tend to tell people, who don't know their insights. I always just tell people to use common sense. We have to look at the reality. People are typically on social media in the mornings before work and maybe during the first hour of work. You're looking at your phone, so on and so forth. You're getting ready for work. You might browse a little bit. Lunchtime, certainly great opportunity for social media traffic. So again, just think about 11 to 1 in that ballpark. Great times for being on social. and then after work or late in the day, again, that early evening after dinner, these are great times. This is when people are on. The younger the demographic, the more they're on. So, I mean, again, you got to think about this stuff. So when clients ask me, well, when do I post? You really got to know your client. You got to know who you're trying to reach. If it's a decent enough post, if it has decent content, it really doesn't matter, because the more engagement you get, the more people are going to see it. So, again, you'll get that traffic. So, think it through. If you have questions, give us a call. But, that's just a little advice that we give. When leveraged correctly, again, it grows an audience, builds awareness, finds and attracts potential customers. You increase traffic to content hubs, and ultimately you drive conversions. That's really what we're looking for. We need to sell product and service. That's what we do. So the same thing for you. You need to make sure that you're driving those conversions. And if you're not, you need to reevaluate things. You need to look at it and say, okay, well, what could I be doing different? What am I missing? And again, back to the surveys with clients. This is where I really stress polls. Ask your clients what they want. They'll tell you. I promise you, they'll tell you. So, don't be afraid to leverage the resources you have. Talk to your staff, talk to friends, talk to family. I mean, so much out there that you can use to your advantage. So, use your resources. Is the best thing we can say. For your social media strategy to be successful, it's imperative you got to be aligned with the content marketing strategy. So again, if you're out creating blogs, videos, and doing all this other stuff, well, you should probably have your social media strategy on board with that as well. You shouldn't be, again, using that insurance example. We're not going to talk about homeowners insurance in depth on social media when we're talking about car insurance and videos and all this other stuff that we're producing. We want a synergy between the content, so that no matter where somebody's going to look at your business or wherever somebody finds your business, that it's a consistent message that's being delivered. Again, social, they have their algorithms. Google, they have their algorithms. Everybody's, trying to play nice in the sandbox here. So be consistent with your information or your content, because that's going to benefit you in the long run. And then the other part is, what are the key metrics that you're measuring this off of? A lot of people, they do social media, a lot of business owners will do social media for, 6, 8 months, a year, whatever the case may be. And then they get a sour taste. Oh, this didn't work for me, or whatever. Well, how do you know that it didn't work for you? What metrics did you set up to establish what was going to be a success and what was going to be a failure? Again, if you have no unit of measure, then it really wasn't a failure. You just don't know what you got from it. And so that's why it's really important. And being realistic, too. That's the other one. I've had people come to me and say, well, I need to drive 25 leads a month off of social media. And you have no followers, you're a brand new business, and you don't want to spend any money on ads. Well, that's probably not going to happen. So you're going to set yourself up for failure. So be realistic. You know that if your goal is 25 leads a month, and organically you're just you don't have that many followers, it's very, very, very unlikely that you're going to get there. Route 2 is we got to pay for some ads. That's the only way we're going to get there. So being realistic with our goals tells us what direction we go in the end. Let's see here. Next up, we talked about this briefly with time of day and knowing your customer, stuff like that. But again, you got to understand what platforms your target audience is on. So, if I'm targeting senior citizens, I'm probably not going to target a message on Snapchat for, a 65 plus crowd. That's probably not going to work that well. Likewise, I'm not going to try to target let's just say somebody who's 18 on LinkedIn. Probably not a very popular platform for that demographic. I want to go where my clients are at. So again, if my target audience is, let's just say 18 to 25, I'm definitely going to be on Instagram. If I'm targeting that 30 to 55 crowd, definitely going to be on Facebook, maybe Twitter. So, like I said, a variety. If I'm targeting professionals, so let's just say lawyers, any type of professional, probably going to go to LinkedIn. Chances are they got a LinkedIn profile. Whether or not they use it or not, here nor there. But, again, they're on LinkedIn. So you really got to understand your target audience to understand what platform you're going to be on. The other thing a lot of people use, and we've recommended this before too. I mean, again, if you only have time to create content for one platform, I would definitely recommend using something like Hootsuite. That way you can share it amongst all the platforms. So again, that's not a best practice with social media. That's just, if you only got time to do one, I'll take that over anything else, or over nothing. But really, the content that you post on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, that all targets different demographics. So really you need to tailor that message. Instagram's dynamic visuals, minimal text, dynamic visuals. That's really what you're going for. Twitter, short text. You can have video, you can do some stuff in there, but again, it's really text driven. It's really time of day. There's a lot of, again, strategy behind Twitter as well. Facebook's kind of like we'll do anything and everything. You can post video, create content, imagery, all of the above. You can pretty much do anything on that. LinkedIn's got to be, high and tight. You've really got to make sure that your message is dialed in. These are professionals that you're targeting. So again, let's just say a not well put together email or message on LinkedIn really just sets a bad tone for you, and it's just not putting your best foot forward. So again, just try your best to do as many as you can. And I always tell clients, listen, if you're not on anything and you're starting something today, then probably, again, every business is different, but Facebook's probably your go-to. If you're on Facebook, consistency is key. You really, really, really need to be consistent. I mean, again, we stress this on everything, but consistency is everything. So if you're a once or twice a week, type of poster on Facebook, great. Then do it, be consistent. Do it once or twice a week. Your audience will adapt to that. If you post every single day, be consistent. I've seen clients they go through and they post every single day of the week, then all of a sudden they just get burnt out. And then they stop posting. And then people start, oh my God, did they close? Uh-oh, what's going on? So don't give people that ability to go negative on your business. Stay positive, keep things consistent. And I always tell businesses, be realistic. If you don't have the time to do it every single day, then don't. It's not going to kill you, but the more you post, the better it is. I can tell you that much. But, if you can only do it a few days a week, then only do it a few days a week. Maybe you hire a service to do it the other days for you. Just use your resources. There's a lot of options out there for you. So before you decide what platform you're going to use, you got to ask yourself, who do I want to target? And then go from there. Social media. So statistics. I don't know why I can't say that today. So social media statistics. In 2019, there are 3.5 billion social media users worldwide. That is just incredible. It equates to about 45% of the current population. So think about that. All these, developed countries and underdeveloped countries, still 45% of the world's population is on social media. So it's huge. It's powerful. Roughly 2/3 of U.S. adults report that they're Facebook users. And that's 2018. That number is probably well over that, and probably into the high 70s, if not low 80s. 90.4% of millennials, 77.5% Gen X's, so on and so forth, are active social media users. So again, younger demographics, that's where they're going. That's where they're at. That's how they socialize nowadays. An average of 3 hours are spent per day per person on social networks and messaging. So again, that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of time. And then, and again, that does vary between the demographics. So understand younger generations are on it more, older generations are on it less, so on and so forth. And then 54% of social browsers use social media to research product. So again, these are 54%, I guess a better way to word that would have been consumers. So 54% of consumers use social media to research products. That's crazy. That's a lot of people. So lots of value behind that, lots of information. I know it's overwhelming, but we try to make sure that you understand why to do it, how to do it, and then all the fun stuff in the middle. So last but not least, so we're going to briefly kind of cover these since we've been at this for quite a while now. So other forms of content marketing, podcasting, super popular now. I mean, jumping by leaps and bounds. Challenge with podcasting, you got to have amazing content. People want to see, that sense of community. There's a right and a wrong way to do podcasting. So to get followers, to really get engagement on that, you've got to have a compelling message. I know every single business owner is capable of doing it. It's just a matter of what content are you going to produce. So if you're considering doing a podcast, give us a call. Like I said, we can give you some tips. There's a lot of people in the community. There's a lot of podcasters already out there. Don't be afraid to reach out. Give them a call. Ask them, hey, what are your tips to success? Most people will be more than happy to share. If you get a bad apple in the bunch, move on. Trust me, you'll find somebody that'll help you. Visual content, again, dynamic visuals, graphics, stuff like that. You can use programs like Canva. There's a variety of them out there. But again, just make sure that you have that association. If you're an auto repair shop, having that. If you don't have any pictures of a mechanic working on a car, well, guess what? You can go find those. And then you can overlay your logos and do a variety of things on there. So again, creating those dynamic visuals, that's huge. You got to have them nowadays. Gone are the days of, posting some pixelated photo and expecting somebody to really want to do something with it. That's done. SlideShare presentations, much like this. This is a SlideShare presentation. So creating, some type of educational series, creating some type of, you could even do product demos with this. There's a lot of things, but again, SlideShare presentations are fantastic. Webinars, again, very similar to this. So, you can create webinars about certain things. Believe it or not, there's actually a large audience that would attend. I mean, you don't think that, and again, depending on the business, but, I've seen everything from craft beer companies, going out and creating little how-tos or, about our product videos. I've seen them I've seen webinars, restaurants hosting cooking webinars. I've seen plumbing businesses showing how to unclog toilets. These series exist, believe it or not, and people watch them. So just make sure, do yourself a favor. If you got something, a specific thing that maybe you do differently or you have a certain way of doing it, put that out there. This is a great opportunity to create these type of little presentations, if you will. And then same thing, slide decks, they all fall into really roughly about the same thing. So, again, the key is education, video, content, how-tos, stuff like that. So that wraps things up. I'll tell you, that was a long session today. Sorry, we didn't intend for it to be this long. But if you do have any questions, anything that we can go over with you, clarify, advice is free. I really stress this. We created these, presentations to help small businesses. We created this with nothing expected in return. We're not going to sales pitch you. We're not going to try to get your business. This is literally to help you grow as a business. So if you have any questions, concerns, anything that we can help you with, please give us a call. Visit our website. We can meet in person. We do have an office at the Arizona Tech Accelerator in Surprise if you're local. So again, please feel free to use us as a resource. We're happy to help. We want to help. This is what we enjoy doing. So thank you for your time. I appreciate everybody who attended, and I hope you have a wonderful day.